One of the things that I'd like to challenge each and every one of you is to dare to be different.
When you learned something new, when you had a great conversation with one of your staff members, when you learned something about yourself, when you learned something about your community, when you learned something about your future. So I hope that every scholar will reflect back on those moments and think back of your time here with the Learn and Earn program fondly and productively.
Learn and Earn is a 6-week summer program for youth who are CHA residents. They live in public housing, who are ages 13, 14, and 15. So they're pre-employment age, and the purpose of the program is to help to prevent learning loss by teaching reading, writing, and math skills, and then also to teach employability skills to help the youth be prepared for when they are 16 and eligible to work.
One of the things we really focused on at Kennedy King was critical thinking. Employers, they say that's the #1 skill that they want, and we just have seen a decline in that over the years. So we really focused on that. And I saw a major difference in, especially my 15-year-old scholars, who we did a lot of critical thinking work with them, on how I saw a difference. So for example, when they first started, if they disagreed with you, it was loud, it was obnoxious, there was no reason behind it. And in the end, near the end, I think it was week 5, they were having a discussion with the visitor, and the visitor, they disagreed with the visitor that what you wear was the most important thing on a job interview. And then I couldn't believe what they said. I was shocked and so tickled. Real calm, this is an adult. They said, well, when we were watching The Pursuit of Happiness, the main character, he wasn't dressed up when he came to the interview. And that's not to say that dressing correctly isn't important, but if you don't have substance behind it, then it really doesn't have meaning.
I found that the scholars became more involved in their curriculums. I found that their participation in the classrooms increased, and that they were more willing to share, more willing to participate in activities. And I think as they became more comfortable with their teaching teams, that they felt more secure in their participation in their classrooms.
Also important to me in the program is that it is strengths-based. At the beginning of the program, when we had an orientation, we had the youth write down 3 strengths that they brought to the program. For example, that they're funny, or they're good readers, or something like that, a strength that they're bringing, and then 3 learning goals that they have. And the learning goals could be, their goal is to learn how to interview. The goal could be that they want to increase their vocabulary, or they want to learn how to be on time, things like that. So the kind of approach that we have in the program, that is, it's youth-oriented, it's strengths-based, and it's very professional, always providing a model for the professional world. I think that that's very important about Learn and Earn, and it separates it from other after-school or summer programs, which are more like an extension of school.
I want to be an entrepreneur.
I want to be a veterinarian when I get older.
I want to be an electrical engineer.
A storybook writer.
I want to be a lawyer. I want to be an event planner.
My team, my class, we came up with different goals in the beginning, and those goals focus on building healthy relationships, discipline, being comfortable outside of your comfort zone. So I think those parts of the program that weren't learning, as far as reading and math, also became important, because I think that these students, they lack some of those skills. So we try to focus on that, and I think that it was a success.
I hope that they will get that no one defines what they're able to achieve but themselves. I hope that they will get a strong sense of self-awareness and a confidence in their abilities to achieve whatever they set their minds to, and are willing to be disciplined enough to go after.
Because like it's a double positive, because it like keeps us off the streets and also like sharpens our math and reading skills at the same time.
I learned more about my career and how it actually works.
Useful thing is to always listen.
Useful thing I learned, respect.
I learned more about like the things that you have to do when you have a real job, like how to, like your appearance, how do you have to look, because first impression is everything.
Teaches us how to stay off the streets and how to save our money and how to learn things, because when you get out of school, the kids get to plan throughout the summer, they lose all the stuff that they learn over the summer. And when they go back, they don't really remember anything. But the Learn At Home program helps you remember, and helps you stay out of trouble. And remember, get smart, and like it's like really just being smart and keeping money in your pocket.
I don't know what you've been told. I don't know what you've been told. Bullets still gon' domino. Bullets still gon' domino. I don't know what you have heard. I don't know what you have heard. Ceasefire come to spread the word. Ceasefire come to spread the word.
So this year was the hottest summer on record, and I know that the city has also, the entire city has been dealing with record crime as well, and you know, that definitely follows the youth to school. You know, it follows them to the Learn and Earn program. What happens in the neighborhood, that violence, you know, all that's going on there does follow them. And so you know, that's been a challenge this year at both sites to try and meet the youth's needs, whether they're learning needs or employability needs, or whether those needs are more social, or they're about family, or even about safety. You know, keeping the youth safe, making sure that they have someone that they can talk to about what is bothering them, and honestly keeping them safe from what's happening on the streets where they live.
Ceasefire is here for you. That's what ceasefire is for. It's for the youth, and also for the old. But basically, it's for trying to keep y'all from getting out of harm's way. And a lot of times, you have to be able to keep yourself out of harm's way. One of the things is, when someone shoot a gun and the bullet come out that gun, wherever that bullet is aimed at, that's where it's gonna land. If it's a grandmother sitting there and somebody pull that trigger and that bullet going straight for that grandmama, it ain't gonna get to that grandmama and then turn and say, oh, that's a grandmother, let me pass her by. The bullet gonna go straight and hit its target. If a baby is sitting in a stroller, somebody come by and point that trigger and pull that trigger, that bullet ain't gonna get to that baby in that stroller and say, hold on, you a baby, I'm gonna spare you. It ain't gonna happen like that.
Gang violence is just, I think it's another way of people expressing themselves, not in a positive way, but a negative way. And so they don't know how to express, so they do it negatively. So that's what I think gang violence is.
Like what does, when you say that, what goes through my head? It's just a bunch of people getting together to jump on people for money and stuff. It's just a bunch of whack stuff, because they don't need to do that if they just stayed in school.
Feel like they need to, or they feel like abandoned. Well, like they go to it because they see like the nice clothes and the nice shoes and the fame. Because like most people in my neighborhood, if you're in the gang, like you get the girls and you get the life, or the so-called life. I don't like the life.
See, we're dealing with an epidemic right now, an epidemic of violence. And most of it is pointed straight towards y'all age bracket. You know, most of it right now, y'all are the target. It gives the youth an avenue to get out of environments that are typically dangerous, and it enables them to be in a safe environment while simultaneously continuing to develop their math and reading skills, as well as preparing them for the world through finishing high school, college, and their professional careers as well. So,
and I want to see you children grow up. You know, one of our posters is with a baby on it saying, "I want to grow up. Let me grow up." And that's what I want them to do. I want them to let y'all grow up. You know, and you don't stand a chance. You know, if bullets flying every day, wherever you in the neighborhood you living in the bed that you sleeping in, you know, a bullet can come in and fly. You know, I want to see you grow up.
The streets are filled with guns and violence. I'm mostly concerned when everything's silent. Bang, bang, the round goes off echoing through the hood. Damn, man, they just shot my homie Wood. Wood was good, he was very bright. Whoever thought he would leave tonight? The scream take over, leaving the spell. I closed my eyes and pretend I wasn't there. But when my eyes reopened, his mother gave me a blank stare. I felt bad, like what have I done? I might as well have been the one with the gun. I failed my brother, a mother lost her son. Yeah, this is a story of a true hood.
I want y'all to repeat after me. Ceasefire. 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 Stop the violence. Stop the violence. Stop the killing. Stop the killing. Stop the shooting. Stop the shooting. Ceasefire.
I think these kids are looking for someone that they can trust. And so my philosophy has always been to build that trust and a level of respect. And I think once that's established, you can break through a lot of other things. And I think it's easier to discipline, to make some type of impact once you build that trust and respect. And so I choose to do it on an individual basis by getting to learn them outside of the classroom and just, you know, learn who they are as a person.
I have different goals for different age levels. Obviously the 15-year-olds, we would hope that they would leave the program being better equipped to find a job, to look for a job, to get hired, you know, to know what is expected of them in a professional workplace environment, but also to know how to apply for financial aid, to be more open to college, to know, to feel that college is more possible, and also for college to actually be more possible because you know, they haven't had as much learning loss over the summer, or maybe they've even improved in their reading or math skills. So those are goals that I have for youth to benefit, and of course they do also receive the $600 stipend for participating in the program, which we use as a way to show them how to manage money and how to really look at budgets. And it also helps them and their families as well, because all of these youth are coming from very low-income neighborhoods and families.
I hope they were able to learn a new skill, that they were able to learn more about themselves and to identify some of their strengths, that they were able to think critically about what they would like to do in their career and for their own professional and academic development. So I hope that our staff was able to help bring out some of those things in our scholars.
One of the things that I'd like to challenge each and every one of you is to dare to be different. As you guys are preparing for the school year, as you guys are preparing for your future. So dare to be different. So that means dare to go to class every day. Right? That's kind of a new and novel concept in some cases. Right? Dare to go the extra mile, to do extra credit. Dare to be different by asking the teacher if you don't understand something. Dare to be different in your community. Getting involved, getting engaged, getting involved in saying no to things those pressures that come your way, whether they're gang, drugs. Dare to be different. Dare to be different, scholars.